On June 24th of 2021, at approximately 1:22 p.m., the Champlain Towers in Surfside, Florida collapsed, killing about 200 plus people immediately. Fannie Mae, through the United States government, looked at that and immediately started implementing some changes, which as of January 1st of this year, took effect with their new condo guidelines for any deferred maintenance that any condo complex across the country has. Check out this episode of More About Mortgages, where I dive into what those changes are and what they mean for you as regular home buyers and consumers. Thank you for joining me for another episode of More About Mortgages. My name is Ian Moore and I'm a loan officer here at Premier Mortgage Lending. Please make sure to like and subscribe my channel if you haven't already. I would greatly appreciate it, guys. As I mentioned in the hook this week, we're going to be talking about Fannie Mae's new regulatory guidelines per condos in the United States here. After, in Surfside, Florida, back in June of 2021, the condos, the Champlain Towers collapsed there, killing 200 plus people, and what Fannie Mae's done to counter that incident and tragic incident with safety protocols and measures to avoid it ever happening again. And we're going to be breaking down exactly what changes they've made and what it means for you as the consumer in this episode. So essentially, it boils down to this one phrase, which is loans secured by a condominium unit with significant deferred maintenance that have received a directive from a regulatory authority or agency to make any significant repairs in any of the units within that complex needs to be done immediately and can no longer be eligible for purchase or sale until that deferred maintenance is completely remedied and safety protocols have been measured and taken. Deferred maintenance is defined by Fannie Mae as, and I'm going to read this for you guys so I make sure to get it accurate here, full or partial evacuation of the condominium or co-op to complete repairs is required for more than 7 days or an unknown period of time. Second, the condominium or co-op has deficiencies, defects, substantial damage, or deferred maintenance that is one of the following: severe enough to affect the safety, soundness, structural integrity, or habitability of the improvements. The improvements need substantial repairs and rehabilitation, including many major components. Or 3, impedes the safe and sound functioning of one or more of the condominium or co-op's major structural or mechanical elements, including but not limited to the foundation, roof, load-bearing structures, electrical system, HVAC, or plumbing. So as you can see, guys, it is pretty comprehensive. The list of items that Fannie Mae has found to be included in that list of deferred maintenance is pretty extensive. But that's a good thing, guys, because now you know you're not going to be purchasing a condo that will ultimately have deferred maintenance or any sort of maintenance that falls apart once you purchase it and ends up leaving you with thousands of dollars in costs of renovations to make yourself. Now, the condo association themselves are going to be the ones responsible to make these changes, or nobody's going to be able to sell or purchase any of the units within that complex, which, as I'm not sure how much you guys know about the complexes and HOAs and how they operate, but if nobody's able to purchase or sell those units in there, they're not going to be able to exist for very much longer. So they're going to need to remedy their approach so that people can buy and sell units within that complex immediately and as fast as possible. And that's exactly what these complexes in this country are immediately doing since January 1st of this year, when Fannie Mae put these changes into effect. So, and perfectly, guys, I have an example myself that I just recently had a home buyer who had an offer accepted on a condo, went under contract. We had the purchase and sales drafted up. We had the loan approved through underwriting. Everything was good to go. Come to find out, when we got the condo questionnaire from the HOA back, came to find out there was deferred maintenance in there. Now, this is a new rule, effective as of January 1st. We've never encountered this. My processors have never encountered this, but we took a look at it. We found out what the issue was. It had nothing to do with the unit that my buyer was buying, meaning the unit my buyer was purchasing was completely intact, completely up to date on safety protocols and deferred maintenance measures. However, 24 out of the 42 total units in this complex needed vapor barrier installations. What the heck that means exactly, guys, is up to you if you want to look it up. I personally don't know too much about it, but what I do know is that these 24 units that needed these vapor barrier installations prevented my buyer from purchasing and finalizing the purchase of his unit within that complex. This is part of Fannie Mae's new questionnaire guidelines, guys, and it all stems from June 24th of 2021 when the Champlain Tower collapsed. So, Fannie Mae's new safety protocols all revolving around deferred maintenance of condo complexes and whether or not there's been any maintenance that's been pushed off that leads to unsafe measures for the tenants that live there. Again, the deferred maintenance meaning no structural, foundational, or major issues with the building, or significant deferred maintenance now or even planned within the future. So some of the key aspects, guys, of this deferred maintenance protocols through Fannie Mae are there any critical maintenance material deficiencies or pending special assessments, pending or active special assessments? That's huge, guys, because if there are any special assessments, any complex that does have them, we're going to want to get them done as soon as possible, because until the special assessments occur and it's identified whether or not there is deferred maintenance, they won't be able to sell or buy any units in that complex until the HOA gets it resolved completely. And the special assessments are taken care of and deferred maintenance resolved if there is any to be found. Second, are there any code violations or local government certifications that the HOA has not satisfied now or in the last 5 years? Code violations or local government certifications that the HOA has not satisfied now or in the last 5 years. That's a big deal as well that a lot of consumers don't know about. Even myself personally doesn't know a heck of a lot about condominiums, local government certifications, and whether or not the HOA has satisfied them in the last 5 years. That's on them. That's one of their regular due diligences and processes that they need to handle and make sure is all up to date. Ultimately, guys, what this condo association and condo questionnaire means and the changes mean for you is you're not going to be buying a condo complex or unit now that has deferred maintenance, has any safety measures that need to be taken that haven't been taken yet, and you're not going to be purchasing a unit in a condo that may fall apart or, at worst case, collapse underneath you and kill you instantly. Thanks, guys, for joining me for another episode of More About Mortgages. I hope this has been informational and helpful. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate all of you guys very much, and have a great 2022, and let's get them.